Welcome back, everyone. I'm sorry that's all on me. I was reading what I'm supposed to be talking about in this current segment. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about river levels. I didn't do any fishing or hunting yesterday, so no report for myself to share. Only reports I got yesterday were from duck hunters, and half was okay, the other half was terrible, which is kind of conducive, or maybe not conducive is the word to use, but kind of expected, I guess, when we've got so much water around right now. It is a double-edged sword on getting a pile of water, because that means there's sheet water everywhere, and birds can end up there where they're inaccessible for a lot of us, and that seems to be kind of what happened, but we'll find out more as this week goes through. Anyway, Willamette, another big bounce, much larger, at least a 2-foot forecasted bounce higher than this last one that we had just this past week. So things are going to get nuts here again, and whew, that's a lot of water. It's a lot of water right now. So just keep that in mind. Again, if you live along the river, you got a lot of water coming at you. Taking a look at the smaller rivers, same thing's going to happen, but this is that window that we referred to yesterday, either today, Monday. Again, go fishing whenever you have the chance. This over here, that's a waste of time. Okay? This is not a waste of time. If you're getting Jones to get out there and chase some winter steelhead, today after the show, I'm sorry, go. If you're going to go. Or tomorrow might be that window to get out there and try to make it happen, at least kind of locally, and then taking a look at the coast, which I found really interesting yesterday. Even Dave, I think when we were talking, was a bit surprised that these aren't forecasted to be a little bit higher in these bounces with all the rain that we've got coming. But you can see as you work your way south, you start seeing a little bit more of a bounce towards the end of the week. LC being the big shower of that. But still, again, today, tomorrow might be that window. Or, you take a look at Foss, and, it's really not that huge of a change. But you got to remember, that's still a lot of water. I mean, those rivers are going to be flowing quickly. So number one, be very careful if you're going to be wading, but it could be quick floats if you're going to be floating. And remember, those fish are not going to want to be in fast water. They're going to want to be in the slowest water that they can be in, and that's where you're going to find them. So focus on that, and hopefully you have some success. If you do, send us some photos. I'm looking forward to seeing that first confirmed winter steelhead photo, which there's already been winter steelhead caught this year prior to the first event that we had of high water. So I'm still looking to have one, forward to having one that we can show off here with that first fish of the year. Getting a little excited about that. If you want to learn how to catch some steelhead by one of the professionals, Mitch Brooks has got a seminar coming up. I believe this is December 19th. That's Friday. Is that right, Ryan? Friday. That is over at the Tigard location from 5 to 6:30. You do get yourself a bit of a discount if you purchase some gear that you want to have to chase some winter steelhead. He's going to give you all the tips that you need as far as rigging, different techniques, and there's no question that there are so many different ways to target steelhead. Learning from a professional is a heck of a start. I mean, that's just really a great way that you might be able to pick out 2, maybe 3 different ways that you want to master to catch steelhead, and then progress from there. But I couldn't recommend that higher than getting that foot forward on learning how to do things the right way, right? I mean, time is valuable. Might as well be productive, right? Or at least thinking that we're productive. Jason at procure.com. Send him an email. You'll enter yourself in to win that prize pack every Monday morning. That winner is notified. And hopefully you enjoy that gear. It is all slanted towards steelhead, which we got a lot of those options all the way up into April right now. And for some of those folks that are currently asking questions about springers, we're going to address all that at the right time. Right now, not quite yet. Not quite yet. We're getting there, right? A couple more months, we'll start getting a little bit more serious about that. All right, let's go ahead and check in with Peyton Major and find out if anything's changed since yesterday. Some of the things that at least changed on our side of things as far as what we look at, Peyton, is that some of the forecasts for those rivers actually went up a little bit this morning as opposed to yesterday. Yeah, it's going to be a situation, Owen, where we could flip the forecast in 12 to 24 hours before an event. So it's a kind of, I should say, fragile forecast the next 7 days, and something you're really going to want to watch. So I'll get to that in just a second. Forgot to put up radar, but know that it is kind of light rain today, just nothing crazy. A few showers, mainly this morning, will dry out by this afternoon. But this is the juicy stuff. So we have 2 atmospheric rivers coming this week, one tomorrow,
and one a little later, possibly sometime Thursday. Thursday's the one I'm a little more concerned with because Monday's system is wet, but luckily we've had this dry spell, so we have this recovery time. Thursday, though, doesn't look to be, that far after several days of rain this week. Another thing is, see how narrow this atmospheric river is? I mean, we're talking a super small plume of moisture that's just going to be heavy right between the middle of it. And so right now, this is a new model run. It's showing middle Oregon coastline, and that's where it's aimed. But if it moves at all, we're going to see drastic impacts that change north or south. So if this thing moves back north, the metro could easily get heavy rain, localized flooding, wind. Obviously, we don't want it to go into Washington after all the crazy impacts that's been up there last week or so. And if it stays south, then we may dodge most of the severe impacts altogether. So right now, this is just a model comparison. I have the American model on the left, the European model. Lots of rain. This is all the way through the next 7 days. I mean, we're pretty confident we're going to get some good rain, but I just not quite sure how much. It could either be 1 or 2 inches. It could be up to 4 in the metro. I do think that most of it will be in the Cascades and the Coast Range. So watch for some flooding concerns up there. Also, we got to get some snow on the ground at Timberline. My goodness, it's 42 there right now. And so I think finally skiers will be very happy to hear that we'll get some snow. And it's not just a little bit of snow. I mean, this is through next Sunday, so we've got a week away. But now, probably about 2 feet of snow at ski resorts, and that's enough to start ski season. So I know Christmas week is a very vital week for those ski resorts, and I'm hoping that'll be enough to, at least have some openings. I showed this the other day, but we have never had no snow at Timberline at the bottom of the Poochie Lift this late into the year. So December 15th, I think those records are about 45 years old. Okay, 7-day forecast here. This is where, things really get a little dicey. So Monday, Tuesday, we're pretty confident, maybe about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this is where we truly don't know what will happen. I mean, Thursday could end up being a first alert weather day if that atmospheric river moves north again. So, yeah, Owen, Fox 12 weather app, super helpful this week because this changed overnight, so I can imagine it's going to change a couple more times.
You're going to have a busy week, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you enjoy it at the very least. Peyton, as always, we appreciate the insight. All right, let's go ahead and check in with Tim from Portland. Looks like he's got a question about sturgeon. Tim, what's your question for everyone?
So for my first question is, usually it opens up the first of the year, January, and I was wondering what days it might be open and the size slot it might be considered. And usually I fish the Columbia River above Bonneville. I'm not sure if that's going to be open this year or not. I have a hard time navigating through the ODFW.
Yeah, you're not the only one that has trouble navigating the ODFW's information. The last that I heard for the fishery up above Bonneville is that they had not intended on opening it on the 1st like they normally do, the 1st of January, that they were going to wait until the conditions weren't quite as prime to put a bunch of numbers up as far as that quota that fishery is actually held on, right? So as it stands now, I haven't heard of a date yet where they're going to actually open it above Bonneville for that Bonneville pool fishery. Their words were, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and Ryan, if you have a chance, we can try to pull that up and see if we can navigate that for Tim a little bit. But at the very least, there was not an actual date yet for that opener up above Bonneville. They wanted to wait to see what those conditions were going to actually be like. Because if you remember, this past year and the year before, it was warmer water temperatures, not a lot of wind. It was perfect conditions for people to get up there in mass. As you may understand or may be aware of, Tim, I mean hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boats literally up there taking up that quota in a very short period of time. So
yes, I remember that.
They're trying to figure out a way, and I appreciate what they're trying to do. How they're going to do it, I'm not certain. I don't know if they are as well. But at the very least, Oregon and Washington trying a new approach for 2026. Sturgeon fisheries in the Columbia River upstream of Bonneville Dam. I'm reading this, Tim, so follow along with me. I know there's a time delay for what you might see on your screen. Season will not open January 1 in Bonneville and the Dowell's Pool. So they have yet to announce that particular date yet. That was from the 13th that they actually publicized that. We'll do everything that we can to try to keep everybody informed of that, but that's what they're trying to do. So no actual solid date yet on when they're going to open that fishery. But it is a very good fishery, and there's reasons why there's so many people that head up there, a number of reasons. They kind of condense everyone down into it, but Tim will do the best we can to keep you informed as we go forward, but we do appreciate your phone call and your question. I hope it helps in some way. All right, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, I'm going to have Brandon Glass from Team Hookup Guide Service. Almost forgot the name. Here in the studio, we're going to start talking a bunch of steelhead stuff. After that, we're going to have Jack Glass, the other part of Team Hookup Guide Service, live from the water. We'll be back to that in just a bit.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, Ocean and the Saltwater Sport Fishing Show, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.